I now request Dr. Subhir Jha, who is a finance professional, to tell us the hacks. Hacks are nothing but the tips or the secrets how to make it easy, a difficult subject like retirement planning. And I'm sure Dr. Subhir will lead us in the short topic duration of 10 minutes. Over to Dr. Subhir.
Thank you, sir. Very good afternoon to everybody. I am Subhir Jha. I am the founder of Bucks Peak. It is a boutique investment firm basically where we take care of the financial well-being of the affluent. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Ajay for this wonderful opportunity. I have witnessed his enthusiasm and his giving back to the peer group towards personal finance. And I think it's a wonderful job, sir, and I hope you all the best in this. Slide, this works? Right. Okay. So the usual disclaimers in that sense, and we finance professionals, just like you doctors, really have to cover our bases in that sense. Hack can mean a lot of things, like sir said. It just means to manage successfully something, right? So it is in this context that we are talking about the hack. It's like, any new project that we start, we have a Ganpati Arati. In my world, this is the Ganpati Arati. Investing has to be boring. It shouldn't be exciting. And if it is exciting and you're having fun, then there is some problem. So good investing is boring. This is Mr. George Soros, an extremely acclaimed investor. So ideas that you would see here are fairly simple, right? And often after the end of the conversation, you'll feel that, hey, this is so simple, I knew about it, right? And that's what the job of a simple and powerful idea is. 2,617. It is something that each one of us, on an average, do every day. Any guesses what this is? We do this something 2,617 times in a day. Any guesses? Wild guesses. Nothing to do with finance. Breathing? Yeah, we do that more than that. Yeah. Pardon? Blink? Yeah, we actually do more than that, 2,000 times. So just to save your, yeah? Exactly. We touch our phones 2,600 times a day. You might not realize it. Right? It's scary, right? At some level. So what is the first hack? The first hack is, in a world where you want to be on top of everything, how do you let your investment grow over years? How do you not check your portfolio when it is available at a click of a button? Right? We have been told that information is powerful, but how do you let yourself not kind of get into it on an everyday basis? Be a Kumbhakaran when it comes to monitoring your portfolio. That's the first hack. We all know who Kumbhakaran is, right? So wake up every 6 months once, check your portfolio, go back to sleep. I know it might be not what some of the experts would have told you. If there are major events, even Kumbhakaran got up if there was a major event, right? So don't worry on that. You are allowed that once in a while. These firms here have something in common. What do they have in common? No right answer. I just need guesses. What do they have in common? Domino's, Amazon Prime, Netflix, WhatsApp. Pardon? They are? Addictive. Yes, they are addictive in that sense. Yes. Online. Yes, pizza was online as well as not online. So, yeah, they are online. They are digital in that sense. Platforms. Absolutely right. All of these are about instant gratification. I should have included Zepto and Blinkit, right? You get something in 10 minutes. I'm waiting when you will have somebody come with a surgery in 10 minutes, right? So that day is not far away, the way things are moving in that sense. I hope not, but. Hack 2 is exactly the opposite. How do you delay your gratification? How do you kind of, save yourself from that temptation? And it's not just a child, right? We all have our temptations. I want to buy the new fancy car or a new villa. It's not easy to stay away from this. So that's the next hack, delayed gratification. And mind you, delayed gratification works not just when it comes to investing, but it also works in other aspects of life. 7. So I'll save you the headache of what the number stands here. This is where it comes to investing, right? We all have been told, and I think Dr. Soren very wonderfully explained about long term. What is long term, right? You have been told long term mein invest karo, long term mein invest karo. Let me put a number to it, right? Let me stick my neck out and say, yes, there is a number that you can look at in terms of your investing horizon. This is 30 years of Sensex return. You see, what you're seeing is the teal colored, the green colored stuff is the highest 1 year return. The gray is the lowest. And in between the ticks that you see are the median. Essentially, 7 years is what is long term. Why 7 years? In the 30 years, there has been no 7-year period where people have lost money in equities. No 7-year period where people have lost money. So 7 year is what you should come with. The median return on 7 year is also fairly good. I think it is around 13-14% per annum. Right? So it's, mentally in that sense, you should be prepared to hold for that long. Again, not easy. You know, this is a beautiful, very simple chart which says today looks humongous, tomorrow looks big. What is 20 years away looks very small in our head, right? Why not 5 years, right? 7 years because statistically speaking, yes. Yes. I said minimum 7. I said minimum 7. There have been 5-year periods where people have not made money. So if I have to, you are absolutely right. 5 year is also a reasonable period to begin with. 5 year is also a reasonable period to begin with. But there have been instances in 5 years where people have not got more than principal. For example, if you invested at the peak of 99 in that sense, you would have not made. So you're right, 5-6 years is also good enough. But 7 years is where you can close your eyes and say that, oh, I'll make some good money in that sense. This is an example, I don't know if it's visible. This is from one of our actual customers' portfolio. They invested 3 lakh in 2007. Today, I think just a couple of days back, I checked the portfolio. It has grown. This is one fund. This has grown to 25 lakhs. 3 lakh has grown to 25 lakhs, right, in 15 years time period. I would accept that most of you would be saying, okay, it's a decent growth, right? Is it a decent growth? 3 lakh growing to 25 lakhs in, this is a real portfolio, right? But the same 3 lakhs, 2007 we had invested, in March 2009, I'm sure most of you would remember Lehman crisis, it had gone down to 1.7 lakhs in 2 years' time. So ups and downs are extremely, extremely relevant and you have to accept them. You shouldn't kind of get worried with the ups and downs. Cycles are extremely, I think you saw that in the previous presentation also. The short term you can have your volatility, long term is when the volatility reduces. This is something which is slightly, you can say, controversial that I believe in. Don't invest to get rich. I'm sure people would have told you investment is a sure shot way to get rich, right? Is that right? No. Don't try and get rich by investing. Investing is to ensure that you stay rich and you beat inflation. How do you get rich? By doing what you have trained for, what you're spending your day job for. And then you utilize and optimize and invest as such. It's a slightly a different thought, but I very strongly believe in that investing is not the way to get rich. It is a way to beat inflation and to grow your wealth. It will not change your socio-economic status. Nothing to be discouraged. Mind you, that also is important because if you have not done that well, the wealth will degrow. So avoid trading, avoid speculating in that sense. So very short and simple hacks. I think it is something that we all can look at. These are what I call first principles. These are extremely simple and they have strong logic behind them. Be a Kumbhakarna when it comes to monitoring your portfolio. Delay your gratification. Long term matters. I believe minimum of 7 years is a good place to start. Longer the better. Markets have cycles. Love them instead of getting stressed. And don't try to get rich by investing. Thank you. Thanks a lot. I hope it made sense. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Subhir Jha. As a professional, you know what the audience want. You have made the point very crystal clear in the retirement aspect. I think he finished at least 4 minutes early, and we have total about another 4 minutes with us. Thank you, Dr. Subhir. and Dr. Chope, Dr. Harish. Just couple of questions we'll allow because there is a next program following this. And mind you, finance we cannot learn in 40 minutes. Finance you cannot learn in 10 minutes of lectures. So, but they are experts, you can take advantage, ask some questions. Go ahead.
Sir,
Satish Vadapalli is my F3 coordinator for Zoom PATS finance training program for pediatricians. Yes, Satish, go ahead, shoot.
sir, just a small point I noted. 1992 to 2002, 10 years, it was in the downside. Except that period, every 7 years has been profit.
Including that period also, I think you would have made money in that sense during that period.
So if somebody began somewhere around after the first 92
I
crash,
think 1992, the markets went back to the principal in 1997, to the principal in that
Okay.
sense, after that.
Okay.
So this is only about not losing money in that period. So you don't lose money in any 7-year period as such. That is, this takes each day, by
So-
the way. It does not take years, it takes each day. Thank you.
The,
I think the important thing to remember is, I know you must have heard this and it is a boring answer. It might not be the answer you like. But next 1 to 2 years, 3 years, you don't need to speculate. Just think of money that you can leave for 4 or 5 years. If you leave for 4 or 5 years from these, I'm not saying 7, right? I'm saying 4 or 5 because markets have corrected. So if you leave for 4 or 5 years, you should definitely and comfortably beat your fixed deposit return in that sense, even from these levels as such. Thank you.
next question.
Every 1 year you will get 10% correction. Every 3 year 20% correction. Every 10 years 30% correction. Every 3 decades nearly you may expect 50% correction. 3 decades, 30 years once you will expect. That's the normal age it takes. Okay, so what that means, in 7 years you will not be losing. You will not be that much of correction will not be there. That's why he is telling long term. Okay, next. Anybody?
Yeah. So the sum and substance of the whole session is have faith in the financial markets of India, one of the robust market in the world. We are the 5th largest markets. Whatever you are seeing currently is the temporary, there goes ups and downs. I think yesterday we had an elaborate discussion with Dr. Satish, who just did his MBA finance, 5th in the university, and he has done a certified finance. He's a pediatrician with so much interest on finance. So these cycles are there, and you will definitely have a upswings coming up. If you put age, 100 minus age in the equity, if you are 50 today, if you put 50% of your allocation in equity over a period of 7, as Dr. Subhir said, and as Chope sir has said, how to get a good companies you will never lose in the equity market. And NFT, keep it in mind what to do. Yes, Preetham, another expert in the finances.
So my question was, do we go, do we look at Indian markets or global markets? Like, do we go to S&P or invest there, or what do you think is the better strategy for the next 20 years?
Sir, to tell frankly, you should invest in both the markets. You don't know which market will outperform, but mostly in the Indian market, because we can know which company does how, we can track their performance over every year, every quarter. But some amount should be in international markets. In which international market? I would say US, because most of the companies which we use day-to-day life, like Windows or anything, Google, Facebook, everything is based in US. So I would prefer NASDAQ for investing along with Indian equity. So what is the ratio? What is the maximum for international markets? It's not more than 10 to 15% of your allocation. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, all the talks which we have delivered, a summary of it is in our souvenir. You can look through in our souvenir, all the 3 authors have put there, and their addresses and probably their phone numbers are there. Get in touch and join our F3 PATS group also. Thank you very much. That's the end of the short program of the personal
sir.
finances, and we'll come back again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ajay Kumar sir and the panelists. As rightly said, investment is like boring. We have to keep it and we have to, wait for the time. As said, thank you very much, sir. Next, we go to the next session. Please, I request all to join for the honors with Kalyan.